Okay, I hope you appreciate that. A little bit of the subject matter today. So, bass harmonics. A little bit of an outside technique, of course, popularized by Pastorius. And I think when you're tuning up sometime or other, you experience that musical that chiming sound. So why the title Bass Harmonics of the Gods? Really, just a little bit of fun, but they do sound like bells. They do sound like, chimes or bells, it's kind of like church bells. So, but the point is, they have that special tone, and you want to get that in your playing, even if you don't use it on your blues gig. Of course, the likelihood of that is like nil, and that's fine. But I think overall, when you have more music under your fingers, you have some chordal things, you have these nice sounds. It really is, even if it's only in the wee hours when you're practicing, it's an inspiring thing. And of course, it could be a compositional thing as well. But just getting more music under your fingers is always a nice thing. So I'm going to show you today what I think is an advantage over a lot of the standard techniques you see. So you have a lot of people using thumb for the bass note. And there's really nothing wrong with that at all. But I think that when you use your first finger for the bass note, and then you use your middle and your ring for the top notes, it really affords a clearer and more rhythmic, more rhythmic possibilities there. And so when you alternate, that really is facilitated by that first finger. So the first thing I want you to do is to just strike these harmonics and strike them top down, starting at 3, the 3rd fret, a little beyond the 3 plus, you could call it maybe, and then 4. And remember what Pastorius said. He said, with force but ease. And so I interpret that to mean you have to really stab them, but you have to have a little bit of discernment how you do it. There's 7th fret and 9th fret, and the 12th. And you'll notice that 9th is the same as the 4th. It rings pretty well, a little cleaner probably on the 4th fret. But so just to establish your ability to poke that note, and it's a nice thing to be able to just to strike the note and get that chimey sound out. But I want to show you why I think my right-hand technique is superior to a lot of the things you might have seen or tried before. And I just think that you get more rhythm with it, more possibilities for rhythmic interaction between the voices. And what I'm talking about is bass notes with the harmonics on top. Right? So when you use your first finger as a bass note and then learn to pluck the notes on top, especially when you pluck them out so you don't kill the string underneath it, right? Kill the ringing harmonic. You get an easy 3-note chord. And then your first finger, unlike the thumb, it's kind of hard to get some decent rhythm, especially one that jumps out and has a little bit of character to it. Tough to do that with the thumb, but with the first finger, you have a more sure rhythmic approach. That's me. but I think it's I mean, I think it's widely applicable, put it that way. But so what you do is you pull out, maybe up and out a little bit. That was the middle, the second note, and then the third note with the ring. And what I like to do is alternate with the bass note and the higher voices of the chord. Okay, so that's just a little introduction to the right hand technique. Second, I want to give you 2 main exercises today. It's going to start at the 4 chord on a C major, and it's going to alternate back to the 1 and up to the 4. I like that starting on the 4, you know, but you get back up to the 4, and you can do it more times. You know, I think I do 2 each, and then go to the 5, up to the D. So nice little sound here, nice little study piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, actually 4 times. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah, and then up to the 5 on the 4th time. You know, because what I'm doing is hitting the first note with the first finger, index finger, and then when you pluck the others, you're going to have to pluck outward, and you're going to have to give it a little, kind of like a little. You have to get a little tough with the note, you know, because you really want to get that. You want to get a short, sharp little, I would say poke, but you're actually doing that with the first finger. But the others you have to pull out a little bit so you don't kill the string, you know, beneath it. And then later, so nice, you know. This. Okay, so learning how to go back and forth between the 4 and the 1 chord, and starting to school that first finger as a kind of well, getting that those rhythmic opportunities between you know, alternating with the upper voices of the chord. Such a nice thing to hear, but a very satisfying thing to be able to do. So making sure you can strike those harmonics nice and clean, and then a nice study piece. And one thing that's very valuable here in the first position, and this is part of the experimentation that I want you to be able to do very freely. When you're in your cubby hole at night practicing, is to learn how to just vary the bass note at will with the same harmonics. So, keep the top ones too. You know, I brought the thumb in there to pull the string out. You know, and then you could do the alternating also. You know, now that's going to really challenge your picking hand. And so I want to just throw this out there. It's actually kind of an advanced technique. You've got a study piece. You're alternating very modestly. These notes here, when you're grabbing the harmonics, the 5th fret, they ring cleanly. They ring nicely. But the challenge for you is going to first be learning how to strike the harmonic without killing the note below it. So you're going to have to learn to pull outward, and it does feel kind of alien to do that. And you're going to get some pain in the joint here, the first joint on your ring finger. So just be prepared to deal with that, and don't go too crazy in the start when you're working the stuff out in the beginning. So little word to the wise there. And then, down the road, I'm going to come out with a ton of these great little lessons on this stuff, and you're going to learn how to just strike any harmonic and experiment with that bass sound. I mean, look at this. An A flat, a D, and a G. It's... You actually have a really nice... That's another Lydian chord on the bass. And when you play the harmonics up here, too, you can mix them with chordal sounds. There's so many possibilities, and I don't want to get too much into harmony right now. I want you to enjoy striking these harmonics cleanly and just freely learning to alter the bass note underneath. There's all sorts of beautiful chords and dissonance that you can use as well. And then again, the challenge, learning to pluck outward with the upper voices and learning to manage that disagreement you're going to get with your ring finger. And you're going to come out a few weeks down the road, you're going to be a few notches higher in your abilities. And so you just have to give it time to tough up your plucking hand. So I hope you appreciate that lesson. Subscribe to the channel. Rock that bell so you can know when I post. And head over to my website, bass+lessons+with+kevin.com, and you can check out what I have there. I've got a lot of courses. You can see the introduction videos to the courses. So there's a lot of information there in its own right. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you soon.